we are moving on to work on the direct materials budget. So if we're going to manufacture these harnesses, we need the parts that go into the harness. So they tell us these harnesses are made of part K298 and part C30. So when you make a harness, you need 2 of those K29s and 3 of the C30s. So, and here's what they cost, 4 and 7. So we should be able to, based on our production budget, right? I'm going to make this many. I should be able to figure out how many of each part I need and how many I'll be ordering and how much that's going to cost based on the unit cost. And when I do my budget, I need to have 30% of next month's production around. So in case I want to make some extra ones, I will have the parts available. So we have a little bit of backup there. All right, and we have exactly the amount we need on hand in our beginning inventory. So this is all we need to get started on our direct materials budget. Now this one's long because there's 2 parts, so we got to order both parts for each month. All right, and of course we need our production schedule because we need to know how many we're going to make each month. So for the units produced, right, for January we're going to do 11,200. For February it's going to be 11,000, and for March it's going to be 13,600. So that's the first part, right? So units produced for both of them, right? We know we're gonna make 11,200. So we're gonna make 11,200 harnesses. So if part 29 we need 2, and if part C30 we need 3. So that means in order to manufacture 11,200, 2 times 11,200 is 22,400. And 3 times 11,200 is 33,600. All right, so that's to make my production needs. I need that many of each part. I do need to have ending inventory. So the desired ending inventory is 30% of next month's production. So next month's production, February, was going to be 11,000, right? So 30% of 11,000 times 2 is 6,600. 30% of 11,000 times 3 is 33,600. I'm sorry, 9,900. Right? So I'm going to need to buy 22,004 plus 6,600, or 29,000. I'm going to need to have on hand, I guess I should say. I might not need to buy them. 29,000 part 29, and I'm going to need to have 43,500 part 30. So in order to do my production and cover my ending inventory, I need this many of each one of those parts. Now we have some beginning inventory, and they told us what it was. It's 30% of, so we had exactly the number. So 30% of 11,200 times 2, 30% of 11,200 times 3. So our beginning inventory then is 6720 for this part, and 10,080, right? So that's less, right? So we subtract this from 29,000, and we end up with 22,280, right? And 43,500 minus 10,080 is 33,420, right? And they tell us in the book that the cost per unit for part 29 was $4, and the cost per unit for part 30 is $7, So we are going to have to spend 89,120, right? And 233,940. All right, so here's our budget for January. Now we just do the same exact thing for February, right? So 11,000 is how many we need. Still 2, still 3. 11,000 times 2 is 22,000. 11,000 times 3 is 33,000, right? The desired ending inventory is 30% of next month's. Next month's is 13,600 times 0.3 times 2 equals 8160. 13,600 times 0.3 times 3 equals 12,240, which means for the month of February, I'm going to take 22,000 plus 8160. I need 30,160 of part 29, and I'm going to need 33,000 plus 12,240 equals 45,240 of part 30. So that's how many I need. Hopefully, on hand in our inventory, we will have our 6,600, and we will have our 9,900. That's the point of budgeting, right? And so what we're going to need to buy then becomes 30,160 minus 6,600, or 23,560, and 45,240 minus 9,900 equals 35,340, times our same cost per unit, and that is going to equal 94,240. These are dollars, all right. And 35,340 times 7 is 247,380. All right. And same thing for this column. We know that we want to produce 13,600. We know it's going to take 2 of part 29 and 3 of part 30. So 2 times 13,600 is equal to 27,200. And I mean 2 times 13,600 is 27,200. 3 times 13,600 is 40,800. Right? And the desired ending inventory. So we have to come to the book for that, because this is for April, 16,000. All right. So that means the desired ending inventory, 30% of 16,000 times 2 is going to end up being 9,900, and 30% of 16,000 times 3 is 40,800. I'm sorry, 14,850. All right, so you add those up and you get 37,100. You add these up and you get 55,650. All right, so that's how many we need. We take out our ending inventory minus 8160 minus 12,240, and what we're going to actually need to buy then becomes 28,940, and 55,000 minus 12,240 is 43,410 times our 4 times our 7. 4 times 28,940 is 115,760, and 100 I'm sorry, 4 times 28, 940 is 1, yes, that's right. And then is 303, 870. All right. So then, if we want, which we do, we'll do our totals, right? So we know that this is 35.8. That hasn't changed, 35.8. And we know we need 2, and we know we need 3. So we know total for the month. So we can either add this, add this, add this, or just multiply that times that. It's going to be the same. So 71,600, right? And 107,400, right? And let's see here. 9,900. And 14,850 is what we need to have in stock at the end. Right, and so that means our desired ending inventory is, our total needed is 81,500 and 122,250. And then minus our beginning inventory, 6720, and minus 10,080 equals 74,780. And 112,170, right? And times 4 and times 7. So part 29, or grand total we're going to spend, is 299,120. And for part 30, we're going to spend 7 times 112,170, or 785,190. All right, but we're going to spend it across each month. You know, we're not going to buy all our parts. We certainly don't have room to keep all that stuff around for that long. So here's how we're going to spend money on parts over January, February, and March. All right, so once we know that, we can now schedule our labor and pay them to take the direct materials and put that together.